Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump can't be on the ballot in Colorado. They just made the announcement yesterday and said because of January 6th insurrection, he is ineligible to be on the ballot in that state. Now, will more states follow suit? I guess we shall see. So, the Colorado Supreme Court on Tuesday ruled that Donald Trump is disqualified by the Constitution from serving as president again because he stoked an insurrection on January 6, 2021. Now, you know the MAGAs are going to turn up on this one, right? But then again, it don't take much to turn those folks up. So anyway, the 4-3 ruling, which rests on the interpretation of the 14th Amendment, will almost certainly force an issue to the U.S. Supreme Court to resolve whether Trump, the leading candidate for the Republican nomination, is eligible to hold future public office. The Colorado court ruled that Trump cannot appear on the state's presidential ballot next year. But the ruling will not take effect immediately to give Trump time to appeal. Well, if you go back and look at the last election, he did not even win Colorado. And, being that Joe Biden is in such a bad state, I don't know where Donald Trump rank in Colorado. Are people more leaning towards him because of Joe Biden doing such a lousy job in office? You never know. So they go on to say, we do not reach these conclusions lightly, the Colorado majority opinion reads. We are mindful of the magnitude and weight of the questions now before us. We are likewise mindful of our solemn duty to apply the law without fear or favor and without being swayed by public reaction to the decision that the law mandates we reach. So, the court, which consists of entirely the Democratic appointees, is the first in the nation to side with the activists and voters who filed numerous lawsuits around the country claiming that Trump is barred from office under the 14th Amendment insurrection clause. The clause states that anyone who engaged in insurrection or rebellion after taking an oath of office to support the Constitution is forbidden from holding any public office. Ladies and gentlemen, when do they follow laws in this country? The only ones they require to follow laws are black people. But everybody else, you don't see these people. These people don't follow laws. They break laws every day. Every day. They don't care what that constitution say. When do they care about what any law says? The divided decision issued just 2 weeks after the court heard oral arguments in the case reverses a Denver judge's ruling that found while Trump had engaged in insurrection, the Constitution, on the other matter, left Trump eligible to remain on the ballot. The four justices majority of the Colorado High Court agreed that Trump engaged in insurrection and found that he is disqualified from the ballot as a result. Moments after the ruling, Trump vowed to appeal to the Supreme Court. The Colorado Supreme Court issued a completely flawed decision tonight. This is what Trump is saying. And we will swiftly file an appeal to the United States Supreme Court and concurrent requests for a stay of this deeply undemocratic decision. Well, actually, that was the spokesman for Trump, Stephen Chung. Okay, so anyway, We have full confidence that the US Supreme Court will quickly rule in our favor and finally put an end to these un American lawsuits. Hmm. So, the US Supreme Court is already debating whether to take up another momentous Trump related question on an urgent time frame, whether he is immune from the criminal charges brought by special counsel Jack Smith related to Trump's bid to subvert the 2020 election. If it takes up the Colorado case as well, it would put the justices in a position to decide two issues that could determine the trajectory of the entire 2024 presidential election. The Colorado decision is an extraordinary ruling that rests on Trump's months. This is before he really gets into the 2024 election because we know he's been tied up in court a lot and really not campaigning the way he should be. So Trump's rhetoric ginned up far right extremists, the court concluded, many of whom came to Washington prepared for violence before Trump ultimately told them to go to the Capitol and fight like hell. President Trump did not merely incite the insurrection. Even when the siege on the Capitol was fully underway, he continued to support it. The majority wrote, "These actions constitute overt, voluntary, and direct participation in the insurrection." So, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like they're doing this, and who knows? Are there any other states that are looking at this and may also follow suit? If so, Trump may have another big fight on top of the big fights he's already in. So, and they may need to move quickly because the Colorado court noted the election officials in the state must certify the ballots by January 5th, 2024. 60 days ahead of the state's planned Super Tuesday primary on March 5th. Practically, election officials need time to print and mail ballots to voters ahead of the primary. Federal law requires mailed ballots to be sent to military and overseas. Um, I'm sorry about that, y'all. Military and overseas voters at least 45 days before an election, creating a particularly compressed timeline for the US Supreme Court to step in. The 133-page opinion, which was unsigned and issued by the four justices in the majority, drew three dissents. Well, Trump don't have much time. Mm-mm-mm. So, Chief Justice John Boatwright argued that removing Trump from the ballot would require an insurrection related conviction. Trump was impeached by the House for his role in the January 6th attack, but he was acquitted by the Senate. And while he is facing a slew of federal and state criminal charges stemming from his efforts to subvert the election, he has never been criminally charged with committing or inciting an insurrection. Justice Carlos Samore echoed Boatwright's concern, but went further, contending that the court was depriving Trump of due process. Even if we are convicted that a candidate committed horrible acts in the past, dare I say, engaged in insurrection, there must be a procedural due process before we can declare that individual disqualified from holding public office, he wrote. And Justice Maria Birkencotter also dissented, arguing that Colorado courts don't have the authority to consider the question presented by those challenging Trump. So, y'all, for now, it looks like Trump is not going to go on the ballot. But of course, everything can change. You know, it doesn't mean he can't eventually be placed on the ballot there. But for now, the Colorado Supreme Court said he is ineligible to run because he participated in an insurrection. So, y'all, you're going to have to tell me what you think. I can't believe that happened almost 3 years ago. Time sure goes by fast, that insurrection. But y'all, tell me what you think about this one. It's interesting, and we'll see what happens. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.